Okay, this is our next one. The principle of time. Time, opportunities, and just life in general. And I think a good place I want us to start is by considering Ecclesiastes 3.
Yeah.
If we could read that together.
Yeah.
So Ecclesiastes 3, we can start from. Let's start from verse 1.
Yeah. Are you reading?
Yeah, I'll read it from here. Let's do KJV.
Okay.
So he says, to everything there is a season,
Yeah.
and a time to every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to pluck up that which is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. And the last verse, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. It kind of like gives like two different
contrasting. It's a beautiful scripture. It's poetic. It's revelational. It's encouraging as well. And I think Solomon literally was talking about something which is vital. Because time is a resource.
Yeah.
So literally we're talking about principles of time, of life, of opportunities. Now, God doesn't live in time, but then God created time and stepped into time, and we are confined by time. I think one of the podcasts we talked about principles being the things that govern a system.
Yeah.
So one of the things that govern the system we live in is time. And the funny thing about time is that everybody has 24 hours in a day.
Yeah.
Everybody everybody has 7 days in a week. Everybody has 12 months, 52 weeks. But then you find that some people they do far better than other people within the same time. So you're thinking, how is somebody able to get more effective,
more value?
More value out of the same time. In fact, some other people buy other people's time. Because when you have an employer, they're buying your time.
Yeah.
So it's so important that for us to be able to maximize our life, we need to understand how to manage that resource of time. And when you're able to manage time, you're literally also managing your life, because if somebody's taking away your time, they're literally taking a chunk of your life away. Okay? And when you're also able to manage time, you would also be able to manage opportunities.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And like you've said, it looks like time just keeps going. Time just keeps going, and
you can't stop. you can't freeze.
Yeah,
time.
so it's what you do within that time, right?
You can't say it.
That's what because like you said, everyone's got the same time. Like everybody's like a level playing field. So what do you do with that time? And that brings me to like the second concept I want you to touch on, and it's season.
Yes.
Seasons. What would you say? How would you put it when we look at times and season? What's the difference? Yeah. Okay. Where does it come into play?
Yeah. Even going back to that Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1 that we read, it says to everything. That means human being, institutions, industries, company, animate object, inanimate object, everything. Whether it's the weather, everything, there's a time and a season.
Yeah.
Now, somebody just reading this will think, okay, maybe time and a season is just playing with words, but not really. Now, the Greek word for time is chrono, or chronology. That's where we got, the wristwatch that says chronograph.
Yeah.
That means tick, 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 60 seconds in a minute, 60 minutes in 1 hour,
1 hour.
24 hours in 1 day. And so that way you can have your calendar based on time and say, we're in 2024 right now, we're in the month of March. So it can pinpoint exact timing for you. That's time. And then you can say, I was born in this year, 30 years old now.
Yeah.
That's time for you in terms of pinpoint accuracy. But there's also another version of time, which is season. And I think the Greek word for that also is kairos. It's special moments.
Yeah.
It may not be an exact time. For instance, a woman gets pregnant, we know that ideally it should be 9 months of pregnancy, but some people will be 8 months, some people will be 8 months and 2 weeks, some people will even be 9 months and 2 weeks. It's not exact. Exactly.
So it's like a window. There's something.
That's the right word.
There's a window of.
That's the right word.
Occurrence.
Exactly. So you can say, we normally have winter, we have summer. By maybe a certain month we're in fall. It might be 1 week different. It might not be exact. So those are seasons for you. And so it's not only important for a man to be able to understand timing, but to be able to marry time and seasons, and to be able to decipher or be sensitive or pick your season. So I'm in this season of answered prayers. I'm just in this season where things are working. Because there's a season for preparation. There's a season where you come into the fullness of what God has in store for you. And when you understand your seasons, and I don't want to go into too deeply into this, you snatch opportunities, because you talked about windows. Going to the Bible, Saul came to Samuel, and Samuel said, anointed him. He said, when you leave here, you have a new heart. The Spirit of God will come upon you. And then he said to him, he says, whatever your hand finds to do, he said, do it because God is with you. He had entered into a season. So, and seasons don't last forever. It's a window. You lose that season. It's not the same. You lose a season you lose a season, you lose an opportunity. So it's important for us to understand not only time but seasons in our lives.
And I think that's very important. And the scripture is just jumping at me. I would like us to read that scripture. And just take some instructions from there. It's about when the Bible talks about the men of Issachar.
Right.
So that's in
that
first,
knew what to do.
In First Chronicles 15. First Chronicles 15. I'll just read it from here. And I'll take it from
verse 15, isn't it?
Verse 15. Is it verse 15 now?
No. The men of Issachar.
While I search for it, and what I wanted to point out from that scripture was, it says the men of Issachar, they understood times and seasons, and there was in the later part of that scripture, if I remember correctly, it made reference to the fact that they knew what Israel ought to do. That is such an important how do I put it? It's such an important concept, in the sense that it tells me that there's a high level of sensitivity, to understand, this is a season. This is what you should do in this season, and I feel like as believers, as people who are on a journey, as people who are looking to maximize our lives and be the best of who we are in different spheres, there's that need, to be very sensitive, and I want you to just touch on that, the importance of being sensitive, being able to recognize opportunities, and things like that.
So it's First Chronicles chapter 12, verse 32.
Verse 32. Thank you.
Now he says this. He says, and of the children of Issachar, which were men that had understanding of the times. So the times he's talking about there is seasons. So they understood seasons. Just like Joseph said, there are going to be two seasons: season of plenty, season of lack. When the season of plenty, what do? He said they not only have an understanding of the times, they also knew what to do for each of those seasons. And then he says the heads of them were 200. So literally what he was saying is they were leaders. You can't be an effective leader without understanding seasons and knowing what to do. When you understand seasons and you also know what to do, effectively, almost literally by default, you become a leader. Because remember what Pharaoh said to Joseph. He said, is there any other person like you? He said, since you are the one who knows, you understand the season, you also understand what we need to do. He said, then you are a leader. So when we understand times and season, literally we become leaders, leading other people.
Thank you very much. I think that just answers it perfectly. Being sensitive, yielding to the Holy Spirit to be able to like determine your season. And one of the things which just comes to mind is having people around you who can decipher that season over you. Having people who can interpret that season, people who can also nudge you when there may be times where you're just not seeing something for some reason, but having people around you like, you need to take advantage of this right now. You need to be doing this right now, and I think that's very important.
And being prayerful as well.
Yeah.
Many of the times you pick your seasons as you become prayerful. First Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9, it says, eyes have not seen, ears have not heard, he hasn't come to the heart of man, the things that God has prepared for them that love him. He said, but God has revealed them unto us by his Spirit. He says, his Spirit searches all things. Yes, the deep things of God. Yeah. So many of the times we pick our seasons first from the place of prayer. And then as you persist, and then mentoring, information, other people over you, you are then able to know, okay, this is what I need to do with this season.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you very much.
It's been fun doing this with you as well. Until we come your way again, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this channel. Also share what blessed you. Feel free to share with somebody as well. God bless you.